in a hydroelectric power plant, as I said, we have to use hydraulic energy, and hydraulic, that is the fluid which is actually a working fluid in this power plant. And everyone knows a hydroelectric power plant is nothing but a power plant which is work on a hydraulic, that is a water. Okay, there are many reasons, because other hydraulic is not that much easy to store in that ample amount. Water, we get the water in a rainy season in ample amount, but how to convert that water energy into hydraulic energy, then hydraulic energy conversion into electrical energy. So for that, when hydraulic have a energy, so hydraulic definitely having a energy only when it is kept at elevated elevation. So when I store water at some particular height, then potential energy gets stored into that water. Correct? So that potential energy we have to convert anyhow into electrical energy. That is our task in hydroelectric power plant. So actually we are converting potential energy of water into electrical energy. Now, how to store a potential energy in water? So for that, we have to store or form a water reservoir at a elevation, at a hilly area. So this is the catchment area. If cursor is visible to you, then so this is the top hilly area where if we store water, so definitely this water will have potential energy, large potential energy. Now from this height, if I allow that water to flow down, so what happened? That potential energy get converted into kinetic energy. That means we get a high velocity flow. And if that high velocity flow is used to run any turbine, so we are converting this potential energy of water which is stored at elevation to run the turbine. And if turbine runs, that means it provide a mechanical power output, then that mechanical power can be utilized to convert into electrical power. So the major drawback, remember my words, the major drawback of hydroelectric power plant or major disadvantage of hydroelectric power plant is catchment area. What mean by the catchment area? Catchment area is the area that is, we say, site selection for hydroelectric power plant. Because if you are constructing a dam on a horizontal land, on any river, but it is not stored at an elevation, so it is not having that much potential energy you can convert into electrical power. So we must have such a area, such site where by nature we can form a reservoir at elevation, height, hilly area. So automatically potential energy gets stored in that water. And this is the major drawback of this hydroelectric power plant, that such kind of site is very rare. Imagine you have a lot of money, you have a lot of manpower, you have every infrastructure, but you don't get such catchment area, such site. So everything is a waste, because you can't erect and run hydroelectric power plant. So the major drawback or disadvantage of this power plant, the site selection or catchment area. So catchment area, as it is appear on your screen right now, so catchment area must be like this, where we can store water at elevation. There must be sufficient depth so that when we flow, allow that water to flow, so potential energy get converted into kinetic energy. Then after, we require some flat portion but rigid soil. Why rigid soil? Because on this flat portion we have to erect our powerhouse, our machineries, our buildings, control rooms. So this land must be horizontal and little bit soil must be rigid. Then after, whatever be the water is used to run the turbine, so exhausted water, if I leave it on the same level, so whole power plant will be submerged. So after this power plant and all this land, after this, whatever be the exhausted water, it should be move ahead and live into any river or lake, so that it can be moved further and it can be used for any agriculture work or any domestic purpose. So basic requirement of any hydroelectric power plant is such kind of catchment area. So high elevation where we can erect the dam, then there must be a slope so that potential energy get converted into high velocity jet of water. Then again horizontal area where we can construct our power plant buildings and wall control rooms and everything. Then after, again there must be some slope so that the exhausted water can run away and it can be move away through any river or lake, so that it can use in other season. Rainy season, everywhere water is available, but it can be used in winter or summer season for agriculture or domestic purpose. So this is the catchment area. Okay, now moving ahead. So to store potential energy in water, we have to erect a dam. Now dam construction. So dam having a broader in bottom side, because whatever be the water level store, so pressure will be increased at bottom side. So dam construction is narrow at top but broader in bottom side. This is a dam. Now what is dam? So dam is just storing a huge water, but during construction of any dam, we can have some limitations. That means dam capacity. So we will study normally the average rain in that particular locality, and accordingly we can construct a dam to store particular amount of water. But what happens if any rainy season there is a huge water, regular than a regular? So if that dam get overflow, that means water store more than its capacity, so there is a chances of collapse of dam. So second disadvantage of this hydroelectric power plant, when dam get collapse, there is a huge loss of property as well as human life. Everyone knows what happens if a dam get collapsed due to flood. So whatever be the area come in the range of that flood, everything get destroyed. So that is again a biggest drawback. To protect this, during construction, during design, we design a dam for a particular storage capacity. If any season, any rainy season, if excess rain is there, to safeguard our dam from excess pressure, there is a sluice gate, simply open channels. So if in any rainy season excess water is there, then that excess water beyond the dam capacity, that excess water will directly flow through this sluice gate. It is not going to store in a dam. It is directly flow through sluice gate and move ahead. So dam will not suffer from any excess or additional pressure. So it will safeguard. So what is the requirement of sluice gate? To remove out excess water storage, excess than its dam capacity. So during design or construction, we have some analysis according to which we erect a dam as per the required capacity. But if in any rainy season there is excess water storage, then that excess pressure should not be come to that dam construction. To safeguard dam, the excess water will overflow through this sluice gate. So whatever be the water reservoir is there, that is called water head level. Now, once we store water, especially in a rainy season, so advantage of this hydroelectric power plant is, what is the working fluid? It is a hydraulic, that is water. And the advantage is that this water store is free of cost. By nature, during rainy season, it is get stored, correct? If it is a diesel power plant, we have to purchase a diesel. If it is a coal power plant, we have to purchase a coal. But this is a hydroelectric power plant. We get a hydraulic, that is water, free of cost. That is the advantage. But at the same time, it having a disadvantage also. It is weather dependent. If in any rainy season there is less rain, less water storage. So it is weather dependent. That is also a drawback of this. Now we have to take a water. Now imagine, always remember, this water is taken from the bottom side. Why? Because at the bottom level, there is a huge pressure. Hello? Huh? So at the bottom side, there is a huge water pressure. Secondly, if I taken this water outlet, suppose from middle, what happen if water level get reduced and reach to middle? Then even though there is a water in a dam, but I can't use that water for power generation. So there are two purposes. Always taken water from a bottommost position so that I get a highest potential energy conversion. Secondly, I can utilize this power plant almost till the whole water get exhausted from dam. So power generation will be continued throughout the season. And remember, what is this pipeline? Actually, pipeline is a very odd word. So this pipeline through which we take water from dam and towards powerhouse, this pipeline is mainly constructed either any metal, that is steel, iron, or it is mostly constructed by concrete pipes. But these are not regular pipes. These having almost 10 feet in diameter. Okay, normal human height is about 6 feet. So it is diameter is having a 10 feet, and it is not called as any pipe. It is called as a penstock. So whatever be the pipeline used in hydroelectric power plant, that is called a penstock. Now, this water coming from dam through penstock, and when it is come out from the end or nozzle, then it will be from a jet. We have to convert this jet energy into mechanical. So we have to construct or install our turbine exactly in front of this jet. Okay. Now the simplest way is draw one circle, divide into 8 parts, and make this bucket in a such direction that we can assume that there is a water will be stored in a bucket, and due to that water impact, it will rotate. So once this blade is move ahead, second blade will come in front. It will collect the water, and due to that water energy, it will again rotate. So this turbine will continuously move. And this turbine shaft is rotating. So this shaft will be connected to generator. And generator will generate power, electric power. So it is not possible to show the generator because it will overlap this turbine. So it is installed in a one house that is called as a powerhouse. And in powerhouse, majorly there is a hydraulic turbine which is coupled with a generator. So if this turbine rotates, this shaft will move. The shaft rotation is provided to generator. So if generator is rotated, then it will produce electric power. Remember, many times it is asked, that is whether in hydroelectric power plant we generate electric energy, and many students say yes sir, but the basic law says energy neither be created nor destroyed. We are generating electric power, not electric energy. Energy can be only transformed. So here we can transform potential energy into kinetic energy when it is flow through penstock. Then this kinetic energy get converted into mechanical energy when it is fall on a turbine. This mechanical energy get converted into electrical energy. So there is a transformation of energy. There is neither creation or nor destroy of energy, but we generate electric power. Power is a different term, energy is a different term. So with the help of this powerhouse, when generator rotates, that energy will provide it to convert into electrical power. Okay, so there must be a powerhouse. Then what happened to that exhausted water? Once this water rotate the turbine, so exhausted water should not be simply live at the same level. So there are drawbacks. If I live at the same level, then this whole plant will be submerged underwater. If I leave it to some river or lake, so our exhausted water will move further. It can be used for any purpose, agriculture, domestic or industrial. And this water level, that is down water level, is called as tail water level. So this is a head, so water head level, and this is a tail of water system. So this is tail water. Now this penstock, even though it is made of 10 feet diameter, but due to this slope, this distance, it becomes very risky to leave it. So we have to make fixed this penstock, and that fixation made by cement concretes, and that is called the anchors. In a ship, many times we found that there is an anchor, metal anchors. So here also the same function is there, anchors fixing this penstock to the ground. Now what happened to generated power? So whatever be the generated power is there, we have to step up with the help of step up transformer. So generated power is always supplied to transformer unit. So during any journey through train or bus, you observe that before any city, you observe that there is a huge transformer unit is there, that is a subdivision and all that. So that is a step down transformer unit. Okay, but wherever power is generated, we have to step up that power. Now already we generate a power, so we are not increasing power, we are just adjusting power. So what is a power? Electric power is a product of current and voltage. So in step up, what we did, we reduced the current and proportionally increase the voltage. And why it is required? Because another drawback of hydroelectric power plant is that the site selection, obviously it is at any hilly area, it is at any remote places, it is at any forest area. That means it is away from a locality. But whatever be the power generated, we have to provide that power to the population, to the any city, to any locality. So we have to shift this power by using high tension transmission lines, cables. But what happened if suppose I shifted this power at particular voltage, and after 15, 20 or 30 kilometer travel through that transmission line, when I observe at a receiving point, so voltage will be very less, because voltage drop take place due to the resistance of that electric cable. So if I shifting this, suppose 4000 volt at the power generation point, and after 50-kilometer wirings cables, when I observe, so there will be only 2000 volt. So at power plant it is 4000, but receiving point it is 2000. So there is a 2000 loss. So to minimize this loss, what I did, I decreased the current, and proportionally I increase the voltage, just an adjustment. So high voltage is there. So high voltage, when I shift it, so due to high voltage, it will reach to distribution point, and at distribution point, again I reverse the process. So at distribution point, I decrease voltage, increase current, and whatever be my power utilization point, I can run that. So to minimize the transmission losses, so this is the voltage drop taken place due to the transmission, that is called transmission losses. To minimize the transmission losses of power, we have to step up the power, and that is done by transformer unit. So I increase the voltage, step up the voltage in transformer unit to minimize the power losses. Now, whatever be the step up power is there, I have to shift to locality, to population, to any city. And as I said, it is dam always erected at a very remote places. So with the help of high tension transmission line. Why it is called high tension transmission line? Because whatever be the voltage in our domestic purpose we have at our home, that is 230 volt. But if you observe at any high tension transmission line tower is there, so there is one skull kind of picture, and it is written at 44,000 volt. That is a very high tension transmission line. So like that. So we are using high tension transmission line to transmit power generated at power plant to the population. So with the help of the transmission line, we provide power to various distribution center. That means it is not necessary I am providing only to one city. It may be a number of cities. Okay. So I think you are clear with this, how hydraulic power plant is used to generate electric power and how it is supplied. So let me revise again in a 2 seconds or 2 minutes. So we store water at very elevation. So water having a potential energy. We store this water with the help of erecting dam. Dam having a sluice gate. Sluice gate is simply an open channel. If in any circumstances there is an excess water storage, then that excess water will overflow this sluice gate and our dam will be safe. Then we have a penstock which is normally attached to the bottom of a dam, so that we can utilize maximum potential energy stored in a dam water. So when this high potential energy water flow along the slope, then this potential energy get converted into kinetic energy, and this high kinetic energy, that is high velocity jet, is used to run the turbine in a powerhouse. This high velocity jet impinges on a turbine blade, and turbine will rotate and produce a mechanical energy. This turbine is coupled with a generator, and this mechanical energy get converted into electric power, and this is happen in a powerhouse. Whatever with the electric power is generated is supplied to step up transformer unit, where we step up our energy, generated energy, and with the help of this HT lines, high tension transmission lines, we supplied these generated power to various distribution centers. Whatever be the penstock is there, which is flowing along the slope, we have to fix it to the ground, and that is done by the anchors made by cement concrete blocks. Whatever be the exhausted water after mechanical work obtained at a turbine, so this exhausted water we will leave into any lake or river, and that is called a tailwater level, so that it can be further utilized for any domestic, industrial or agriculture purpose. Okay, now move ahead. Now it is not necessary that each time you require the same amount of energy. Especially summer season, we require a high amount of energy. In winter, rainy season, the energy demand is reduced. So power generation also we have to control, and for that there is a one control room. Here I am showing simply one control room, but in actual there is a huge building and number of walls are there, huge blocks, and all these are called as a control room. In control room you can monitor how much water is there in a dam. You can monitor what is the velocity of water flowing through this penstock, what is the speed of generator, what is the power generation rate. Everything monitoring, measuring and controlling devices are kept in this control room. So whenever we require a more amount of energy, we will open valve and allow larger water flow, so energy production rate will increase. If we found that now energy demand is reduced, so we will close valve, so flow will reduce, so less amount of power generated. Because generated power cannot be stored, there is a very limitation. We observe that there is a cells battery, but battery having very limited power, and the power station generated in a megawatt, gigawatt, that is the power generation. This much power we can't store in any device. So the simplest way is whatever be the demand, accordingly produce power and supply it. So controlling the generation rate, we must have one wall control room. In wall control room there are measuring, monitoring and controlling devices. Everything is there. Okay, now let me clear one thing, that this penstock is there. So penstock is almost 10 feet diameter. That means about a 2 to 3 meter diameter. Now imagine this 10 feet diameter water, huge amount of water is flowing from this dam, and along the slope it is get converted into high velocity jet, and you observe that now demand is reduced. So you ask any operator to close the valve, so he will close accordingly whatever be the power generation demand. Now once you close it, when it is open, water flow according to the your previous demand. Once you close, the demand is reduced. So after this wall, amount of water will be reduced, but before this wall, the amount of water flow according to previous opening, it will reach up to wall, and then you close it. So what happened? Back pressure is generated. Many times you observe that during gardening, if you close the mouth of that gardening pipe, the pipe gets slipped out, correct? But here it is not possible. If you close the wall, so whatever be the water reach up to the wall, it creates a back pressure because it is not move ahead, because you already closed the wall position, and it is not possible to push all water in a dam against this pressure, and it will return to the dam. So what happened? This back pressure generated, and it will burst this penstock. It doesn't matter how much thick penstock is there, it will burst it because of that back pressure. To safeguard this, there is another device, another part is there in a hydroelectric power plant, that is called surge tank. and it is simply a open tank. There is no any control wall, nothing. It is simply a open tank, and it is attached to this penstock. So now what happen? If I suddenly close the wall, whatever be the water come up to the wall, it can't move ahead, but it at the same time it cannot be enter again into the dam. So it create a back pressure. Now unless you release this back pressure, otherwise your penstock will get burst. So what happened? This back pressure water will lifted in this surge tank. So whatever be the excess water is there, which is creating back pressure, now it is lifted in this surge tank and pressure get reduced. So your penstock again safeguard. So surge tank is also used for safeguarding your penstock. Now imagine next time you observe that you required more power, so you will open wall. So as soon as you open the wall, additional water will not come directly from this dam. It will first use the water from surge tank. So as soon as you open the wall, surge tank water will first flow, and then after from dam water quantity will increase, water quantity will flow. So surge tank is continuously filled and empty according to your wall operations, but it is safeguard our penstock. So part wise, hopefully you understand what are the requirement of hydroelectric power plant, and this is the simplest schematic. So line by line, it is easy to draw. It looks better, and once you are able to draw this schematic of a power plant, then does not require to memorize the working, because there is a question in university exam: draw a neat sketch of hydroelectric power plant and explain its working. Now imagine you have such kind of diagram with you. Now what is your role then? Just put down what is the diagram into the word, it become your working. Okay, so simply convert this schematic into words, it become your working. Now secondly, second question, that is state the advantages and disadvantage of hydroelectric power plant, and obviously for 4 or 6 marks, so you have to at least mention the 6 points. So what is the advantages? What is the working fluid? It is free of cost, available in rainy season. So we does not require to pay anything for this water. That is our first advantages. Second advantages, this kind of plant having the highest lifespan. If nuclear power plant is there, thermal power plant is there, wind power plant, solar power, so they having a limited lifespan, that is up to 20 years, 30 years. But hydroelectric power plant having a minimum 50 years. After 50 years, there will be audit, and its working will be extended up to 100 years. So it is the highest lifespan power plant. Next advantage is power generation is clean, because during power generation we does not require to burn any fuel, coal, diesel, anything. So there will be no smoke. So air pollution is zero. We are not using any nuclear fuel, so radioactivity, it is zero. Okay, so power generation is clean. But the drawback, it is weather dependent. Next, it is most reliable power plant, because it having very few parts and very rigid, robust parts. So a reliable power plant, because it is not going to have any kind of breakdown, a regular breakdown. If it is a diesel engine power plant, so there are number of parts, any part can be damaged, your power plant will stop. If it is a nuclear power plant, very instrument and measuring and controlling devices are there, maybe, but here it is very robust. Control walls are a wheel kind of walls. Okay. Next advantage is this is not only to use for power generation, it is also used as a water storage. So in a rainy season we can store water, and in other season we can use this water. So it is again you work as a water storage. Next, it's never in a breakdown because it having a scheduled maintenance. So it is not never in a emergency breakdown. So it is scheduled maintenance. So accordingly we plan, okay, this season we have a lack of water and we don't produce a power. So that 4 or 6 months we will do all kind of maintenance. So it is always a pre-planned maintenance. Okay. But what happened? Its maintenance required long time, about 6 or 4 months, complete plant will be shut down for the maintenance. Then power generation is flexible in terms of it can be easily start. How easily start? If I open the valve, automatically high pressure water comes, it converted into high velocity jet, and it will directly move our turbine. We does not require any starter or anything. In suppose thermal power plant, we have to wait. Boiler will generate steam will reach to some particular pressure, then our plant will start. But here it will be easily started and easily stopped. So that is the flexibility we have. Disadvantages, as I said, if it get collapsed, there is a huge loss of property as well as life. Second drawback is it required a huge land. You may read somewhere in news or news channel that migration is there. So we have to shift the locality nearby this dam erection zone. We have to shift whole the village to somewhere other place. Okay, so that also required cost. Secondly, dam erection itself required a huge cost. So initial cost is very high. Next, it is weather dependent, as I said, and transmission cost is very high. If thermal power plant is there, I can select a site nearby the locality. But here there is a limitation. I can't choose site anywhere. I have to shift my whole power plant to selected sites, and it is always at remote place. So whatever be the power generated, I have to shift that power through thousands of kilometers, and then it will reach to locality. So transmission